This is Dulci Hill, and let me just share the group. Uh, Let me see, where's MS Live? All right, oh, here we go. Okay, so in fact, I gotta change that. Let me see. Let me just share it in a couple places. Let's see. Forgive me. I'm getting this set up. Give me 2 minutes. Remember, at the top of the hour is when we're supposed to start. So let's see. All right, I think I'm done. All right. Hi, Paul. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I want to tell you on YouTube, which is right there, YouTube. Uh, I was doing it on my tablet, and it just wasn't working out. It kept last on Tuesday, it kept canceling the signal, going offline. So what I want to tell you is that now I'm doing it with the PC and the super duper camera. So it's a high definition, so it can see every pore. And I don't like that. I like the YouTube or sorry, the Facebook. I'm Karen. I like the Facebook camera because it's more like Monet or it's more impressionistic. It's less definition. So I prefer the way I look. Hi, Jane. Hi. It's not going to fail this time. This connection will not fail because it's PC. It's on the personal computer. So I just want you to know. I let down YouTube on Tuesday. So Susan, love you guys with Karen. Yeah, just it's so great to see you. So if you want to know all of my flaws, how I really look, jump over to YouTube. Go to my channel, Dulci Hill, subscribe, and you'll see that MS Live is going on right there. All right. See, when I'm looking this way, I'm looking at myself. So, that is vanity. When I'm looking this way, I'm looking at myself. So I gotta stop that. When I look at this way, I'm looking at you. When I'm looking that way, I'm reading what you have to say. And then when I'm looking here, Chris Hammond, oh, God bless you. All right, so we have a new group on Facebook. It's MS Live. I've got to change the settings. So if you want to be in that group, then chat amongst each other. It'll be the idea is that it can be like YouTube on Facebook. So let's see how that goes. So what you do, I've got to change that setting because I have it as a private group, and I just wasn't thinking. So we got the group here. I love it. Today I want to go over. You know what? Let me just stop for 1 second. Hi, Nikki. Uh, let's see, Dakota's watching. It's wonderful. Okay, so I know we were talking about talents last time, and I gotta ask for your forgiveness because I was a bit of a hot mess. Uh, I was a bit of a hot mess, and I'm a former teacher. Uh, I've taught so many different things, and the great thing that I discovered is the very first day of me teaching. In fact, it was high school. I went in there and I was student teaching, and I was a hot mess. I remember going to the kids and being authoritative. And the reason why I'm saying this is that, you don't know how you're supposed to teach a class until you fail miserably. You fail, and I've spoken in front of people. I've done it the wrong way, and I'm just like Romans 8:28 says that we know that all things God works for the good of those who love Him. All things, good and bad, happen are good. They're good. So failing are is a wonderful thing. So when I was teaching, I remember I was teaching a law class in high school, my first year, and it was rough, rough high school. And I remember looking around and being authoritative, and there was one little girl, and she was so tough. When we went to a criminal trial in Camden City, New Jersey. She had dated the guy that was on murder trial, so she was pretty tough. So here I am. I'm trying to be more authoritative than her. She ran the class, and it was only uh, just it was only through trial. I threw her out of the class. I sent her to the office. The principal talked to me and said, "You're the teacher. We don't want to see her in our office. You handle her." So, you know what? This is failure. I failed at trying to out strength. I strength her, but I pulled her aside and outside class after class, and I said, her name was Tony. You don't know her last name, so or the city. So I pulled her aside, and I said, Tony, you know what? I need your help. Every teacher needs a sidekick to be successful. And when I went to her and I asked her to help me control the class. You'll be my co-leader. Oh my gosh! You know what? It was amazing. The class was in order. I had so much respect. It's like the art of war. Sun Tzu said, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend." Yeah, you know. But as a Christian, there are no enemies. There are no enemies. So you look when you pray, and you pray for understanding of the people that are just chapping you, just are irritating you. Then why am I going wrong? You pray, Father, why am I going wrong in this class? Or how come I can't lead or teach effectively? And God said, God says, well, wait a minute. Is it? Are they the enemy, or what? Are you trying to get something across from them? How can you do that with love? And when I approached Tony with love, she helped me out. Now, in the same way, on Tuesday when I did this class on what was your leadership, it was I went over and I thought, gosh, I'm trying to communicate without interaction, and that is just too hard. It's too hard. I can do it like a pot. I went to the dermatologist for the rest of that melanoma cut out, and I was praying with them because everywhere I go, it's like I don't disguise I'm a Christian, and I look to pray for people. He says to me, he says, "You ever think about doing a podcast?" So I'm thinking I could do this class on a podcast. And I wanted Dennis to be able to set us up on an interaction, a Zoom meeting, plus there's hi Patty, there's individual leadership talents, which is what we did on Tuesday. That I was all over the map. I had to do it better because I failed, and I failed you, and you know what? It was a good thing. It was a good thing. And thank you, Jane. Jane said, you know, apologies are never needed amongst friends. And that's, you know, it's true. Only when your friends can't be insulted, can't be insulted. But and are so mature in Christ. However, yeah, so I don't need an apology. Um, but I'll tell you, I do for my husband. The closer you are to me, hi Jennifer, the closer you are uh, to, you know what? I'll tell you what. You've got MS. You're sitting there and somebody cut you off. Somebody healthy cut you off to get in a handicapped parking spot because everybody's got a handicapped parking spot. So, do you need an apology from that person? Do you? Yes, you do. You know, so that we do need apologies. Uh, and I discovered that apologies when I say I'm sorry, and I've learned this when I've said I'm sorry over people don't receive that as well. I'll tell you. Let me tell you about real bad thing. I came home the other day. It was after I had this cutout, the rest of the melanoma cut out. Walking was so hard. I came in and I looked at my house, and there was my husband's shoes in the living room. There was his work stuff on the kitchen table. I'll tell you what, and he came in, and there was I had been cooking, so I had dishes in the sink because when you have MS and you do things in power spurt. So I went in and yeah, when I clean for about 10 minutes, then I have to sit down. So so I cooked in 10 minute spurts, so he comes in and he says, you and your sink, you gotta clean that sink. You can't do that. And so he was in a bad mood. He said that, and I was like, oh boy, all right, okay. What about your shoes? What about and I was so ornery. I was so ornery. And he had just come home from work, and he said, I don't need that when I come home from work. I've worked since 5 in the morning, and then at five when he gets home, here you are ordering me around. So you know what? Instead of saying, I'm sorry, I said, oh my goodness, you are right. Please forgive me. How does that sound? Forgive me because you are right. I just wasn't feeling well, and you know what? I wasn't feeling well, and there's no excuse. I had bad behavior. Forgive me because that's huge. That's a lot different than sorry, sorry. Forgive me, forgive me. I'm a jerk. I'm a jerk. But you know what? If I wasn't a jerk, then I wouldn't need Jesus. Okay. So what I want to do is remember I remember this. Let's see here. Do you see? It's hard to see. Do you see a see? You can see this really well on on less on SD. HD. You can there we go. Do you see a witch or do you see a fancy lady? See a witch or do you see an old woman or a fancy lady? Right? An old woman or a fancy lady. All right. See, this is the fancy lady. That's a fancy lady. See, fancy lady. Now, and that's how you look at things. How? Hi, Brandy. Yeah, no, my friend. You know why? All right, Brandy's with us, and she's talking about not feeling good. Well, yeah, you don't feel good. Number one, crab. Me too. Me too. But let me tell you something about that. You know, when we're a crab, we see the witch, right? Witch. All right, let me see the witch. See the nose? That's a witch. That's a witch. Eh? See, and their mouth and all. We only see the witch, the mouth there. So it's important that we know that hurting people hurt other people. When we're hurting, hi Chris, I knew you. I saw you earlier, but so we know it's how you look at life. The more we think about how bad we're hurting, and the less likely we are to see the beauty in the world. The so when you're hurting, when it's hard to walk, I should have yesterday should have been in my scoot. Not yesterday, before I should have been in my scooter, and I just was too ornery. I had to be on my walker. I had to be so anyway, it's important we do that. But let's see. Let's see. All right, here on this bookmarker, it says, and it's a prayer that I put at the top. It says, "May God bless me with the discernment to see the beauty in every situation." And that's hard. Isn't that hard to do? It's hard when uh, you're suffering from MS. You're suffering from a pain that is so great. Uh, um, that it's overwhelming, and you're walking along and you're just like you're in pain. You have foot drop. Say you have optic neuritis, you have paresthesia, you have lermitza, lermitzine. When you put your head down, it goes zzz. You've got that electrical shock. You've got things that the world doesn't know, but you look healthy, right? You look healthy. So here you are walking with me. I'm walking with a walker, so I'm visible. And somebody comes up and says, "You know what? I stubbed my toe. Oh, it's hurting me." So get this. Oh, I get a good example. I went to the pool to swim my laps, and there is a woman, an older woman. She is my Achilles heel. She bugs me. She bugs me. She bugs me. Oh Lord. Oh, she bugs. Oh, she is polar opposite. Um, if I'm able, she's Kane. She just said, yeah. So I'm getting in the pool, and she says, "I've been seeing you for a while." And I said, "Yeah, I know. Well, we're on different schedules. It's fine." But she says, I forget things. She says, "You know what? What happens when I fear getting Alzheimer's?" And I said, "Oh boy, I'll tell you what. But talk about forgetting things. I yeah, I'm not gonna get Alzheimer's. I'm not gonna get that." And she says, "You don't know. You can get Alzheimer's. You be careful. You're gonna come down with Alzheimer's." And I was like, "Oh my God, she." And it's my gut. It just my Jersey nature to want to say, "You know what? Let me tell you." every time I make a doctor's appointment, I show up a week early or an hour. It's we forget things. We forget things unless we have a list of doing things. Uh, Forget it. Forget it. A lot of times, and memory lapses are so common. They're on one of these forums that I really enjoy, Helena. One of these hi, one of these forums that there was some really brilliant people who were listing their pedigrees. I've got a engineering degree. I was an executive. I ran a company. All these people are saying these things, and they said that what they hate the most with MS is they feel so stupid. They feel so mentally just lesser, just not, just they've lost so much. Um, and I think about that because my big disappointment was not going to medical school. I was set up. I wish I did because my favorite shows, I love watching Operations. I wish I was a surgeon. Oh my God. So even doctors, my neurologist, because I have books. If you look back here, I've got books on osteopath, on phlebotomy. I have I love that. But and my doctors have said, why don't you go to medical? Why don't you go back to medical school? And I have to laugh. There is no way. I've got pedigrees. I've gone to college. I went to graduate school. But to think about how hard it was to study and how hard it is to memorize this stuff, I just don't think I could do that. And I remember in college reading books on internships, and I knew I was convinced I wouldn't have the energy to continue to do an internship, to be the doctor's internship. How in the world do you do that? So what I want to say is that when I saw these people, these brilliant people, say that they feel like they cognitively lost so much, and Phil, you can say that although you're I have that talent that you probably do. Well, no doubt you do. Is that I can remember lyrics. So, but I look at these people, and I got to tell you something. We may feel stupid. We may feel that there's a memory lapse, that we're not as smart as we used to. But I got to tell you, when you go around, you talk to these people, talk to anybody, uh, people see you as being a lot more intelligent than you feel you are. And that's so huge. Last night, we did trivia night. I had my friends over and we did Jeopardy. And I'm telling you, I was hot. I knew so many answers, and I'm telling you what, I don't know. The good Lord wanted me to appear smarter. And I got to tell you, sometimes I sit there. I am deadly with Jeopardy, with the pause button. So you pause, and then you get some time to think, and you have a great time with it. Susan, you know what it is that, y- tell me if this happens to you. You'll be talking to somebody you respect, somebody, and you'll have this brilliant idea, this brilliant thought, and you'll try to elaborate on this thought, and you'll go off on a little tangent to kind of, to make it seem more interesting, and all of a sudden you forget what you're talking about. you forget. You're like, you forget, and you forget, and I luckily. Now I laugh. I say, what was I talking about? I ask the other person. I have no idea. I spent so much time making the story flowery that I forgot the point. So so many people are, what, just because you have MS and you forget the point, you may be young and everything. Let me tell you something. Uh, uh, Everybody, not a. The only people who don't forget the point are in their 20s or 30s, and I'll tell you, if they're on the if they're on the phone and they're playing games and everything, they have attention deficit disorder. They have this society is set up so that it's hard to focus on one thing for a long time. In fact, there's exercises. Just you got to sit still. If you sit still and concentrate on one thing and don't let your mind wander, that will help. Uh, that will help you to be to stay on thought. A lot of times when we're trying to stay on thought, uh, the problem is that we have another thought that jumps in inside, grabs our brain and pulls it over here, and part of the reason is because, say you're doing something, you're writing something, and all of a sudden your phone ding, because somebody wants to send you an email message, or somebody's calling you, something important's going on, and all of a sudden you pick up your phone and you answer that, and then all of a sudden you check your email, and you completely forget what you were doing over here. I've burnt stuff in the oven because I forgot that the beeper's going off for me to take things out of the oven. I've been distracted. That sets you up for being not holding a thought. Holding a thought uh, requires discipline. Discipline. It's when you're writing something, turn off your phone. But in fact, with Facebook, what I did is I turned off. I put on the side, you can click click it so that nobody can contact you, and I did that so I'm not distracted. Uh, um, I did, and I stopped this. I think I'm going to have to do this HD TV on YouTube because I can't be distracted on my PC. John. The only thing that I've done that I've not done is my phone. I didn't turn off the ringer. So I'll tell you, Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law. This is going to ring at some point. Betcha, betcha. So Susan is saying that she can't even read a book because it's hard to concentrate. Oh my goodness! And Jane says all the time one of the reasons she left her career is because you know what, isn't that amazing? And when Jane, when you're not feeling good, everything's a disaster. Exactly. uh all right. So, and you know what, Jane is talking about retreating to a quiet place, and that is the first step on working with that discipline, trying to hone a skill. All right. Brandy's. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay, so one of the things, think about it, are working on honing your concentration, working on it is very much like practicing the piano, right? No, who knows how to play an instrument? I play the clarinet. Think about that. When you played an instrument, there is ads. If you did anything, if you played sports, anything that you wanted to get good at required practice. Practice, practice, practice. I'll tell you, I took a college class because always wanted to draw. In fact, I always wanted to be an artist. I'm jack of all trades, master of none, and I didn't have the talent. But let me tell you something, if you draw, there's a mathematical formula that you can be taught to draw. So I took drawing the face, drawing. Think about Da Vinci had the what Vitruvial? Is it Vitruvial man? And everything was a formula as far as drawing. And what it was is that I became a really not I wasn't an artist natural drawer. Some people can sit there and draw from memory. I had to look at a face. In fact, I love looking at faces and draw. What I'm saying is that somebody who has no talent on drawing, me, could practice the discipline of getting honing a skill, and in the same light, if you have the discipline, if you have any discipline in you whatsoever, just practice honing in on concentration. Let's see. Here we go. Question: do you respect your mind by challenging it with new things to learn, by reading something that requires effort, thought, and concentration? Every day, if you're able to do that, to concentrate, work on concentrating on just this is what I'm going to concentrate on. That will help. Sharia says she's dingy. What dingy? Let's see. No one can follow her because her conversations go everywhere and nowhere. She's okay with it. Her husband laughs. Um, yeah. Yeah, that's nice. But I'll tell you what, Sharia, I have I like people who are so much smarter than me, and because they challenge me. But I'll tell you what, problem with having friends that are so much more brilliant than you is that they glaze over. They glaze over. Yeah, if they're not rude, they won't say, "What the heck are you talking about?" They won't say that, but you'll be talking about something, talking, and all of a sudden they glaze over. What? They glaze over. Their focus. They stop focusing in on you and start looking around the room. Yeah, my husband does that. He's really really smart. My one of my best friends. Oh my gosh, he's so smart. Uh, uh, yeah, I try to figure out, well, what are these smart people doing talking to me? And I laugh. I laugh. I laugh. I laugh. I say, yeah, you know, I laugh. But one of the greatest gifts that God gives you the ability to laugh at yourself, to forgive yourself, to say, all right, Sharia, and Sharia just made that point. She said she giggles at herself. She giggles at her you know what, not failures, at her hiccups, at her challenges. And it's true. You gotta giggle. Um, I'll tell you what, when I was teaching, I remember there were people in the class, and I taught junior college, and I taught adults too. And I gotta tell you, very few people were secure enough to ask questions, and to ask questions. And you think about that. The people who asked questions were the ones that weren't afraid to look foolish. And the only way you are not afraid to look foolish is if you know you're a hot mess and you realize what a joke. Life is a joke. Life is so humorous, and I can forgive myself for being a disaster on Tuesday, for often after my show, or my show, your show. Look at the hubris of that. After this show, after this MS Live, your show, after this. I'll go about my day. I'll have this studio makeup on, which I only wear on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't, throw on this makeup. And I'll go around, and occasionally somebody who will have watched this, or my husband, somebody will say, "How'd your show go?" And or how did yeah, and they call it, locals who know me call my show, and I know better, because God gets us going so that we can be here for each other. It's, what, the minute I think this is my show, it'll fail, right? The minute, because it's your show, it's God's show. So people come to me and they'll say, how did your show go?" And this past Tuesday in the afternoon, "How'd your show go?" And I had to laugh. I said, "Oh, it was a hot mess." But and forget it. I don't often talk about this with people who know me, because it's ours. This is ours. This is yours, mine, and people who know me outside of this, just yeah, outside of this, it's, yeah. I don't. You know what? I don't talk about my health to people, out besides you, pretty much. And I don't talk about MS with people outside of you. And I don't, you know what? I don't talk about you to people outside. It's This is private. This is, believe it or not, is public. Is a seen to be, and this is, to me, intimate and private. This is, what's going on with you guys, is sacred. It's so sacred. And here's a example. Dennis, I'm gonna read that in a minute. Uh, so when my mom's husband Walter died November 9th, this past year, so many, I didn't post it on Facebook. I didn't let anybody, I was very cautious about letting people uh, know. And hi Jeff, hi Holly, uh, and my mom asked me, she didn't either, and she couldn't put words into why she didn't make an announcement that this man that we love so much had died. And I said my words were My words were it it is my love, my pain, and somehow making announcement. It is sharing something that is sacred to me, that no one, somebody is saying, I'm sorry for your loss. It just, it doesn't do it. It's like, I don't want you to, I don't want anybody to say that, because it doesn't come close to, it doesn't do it for me. God knew the loss I was having. Wow, that's wonderful. So I think about that. I think about our interaction together. Uh, um, it's sacred. It's sacred, and people, you guys know how important you are to each other. I know, Susan, you were so sweet to send me. You sent me a text message about Tuesday. Oh my God, Tuesday was such a big day, such a busy day for me, Susan. I'll let you know that I was supposed to host trivia night Tuesday night, and I had to contact everyone and say I can't do it. You know why? Because I, I could not. I had that MS exhaustion that I could not look at the wall. I couldn't watch TV. All I could do was lay there, and I was so tired I couldn't sleep. I just laid there. So I wanted. So thank you, Susan. Thank you. My car had broken down. Just so much had happened there. So, but thank you, Susan, for oh my gosh, I felt so much love getting a text from somebody who understood. And it goes right back to sharing something with somebody who gets it, versus sharing something just to get a response. It's one of those things when you have MS. You go to your spouse, you go to somebody who doesn't have MS, and they ask you how you doing, and you say, "Oh my gosh, I can't feel my feet today." And they look at you, and they can't even fathom what it's like not to feel their feet. And then, sorry about that. It's different when you share. Hi, Mickey. It's so different when you share it amongst each other. When Susan and Jane and Sharia and Rob and Dennis, when we share with each other, when all 30 of us on the list. Dennis, when we do a Zoom meeting and we see each other's faces, we exchange each other's phone numbers, and we're able to text each other when the Lord lays something heavy. It's like, oh gosh, I know I know Sharia is going through. I that Chris is going through something with her eye, so let me text her. I've texted you guys when you've gone to doctor's appointments, when you've had certain things. By the way, Karen she is finally feeling better with COVID. Jane's getting over COVID. Just anyway, I just want to let you know I love you. All right, Dennis says, all right. Dennis Dennis has a wonderful thing. She says, he said, when you notice somebody's not listening to you, when you're talking to them, yeah, they all of a sudden they're looking over your shoulder at the next interesting person. When you notice that, uh, just say, just say, then I found my 20 bucks. Then I found 20 bucks. Or you know what, Dennis, gosh, that's really good. You could say, oh look, there's 20 bucks. You could throw 20 bucks. Oh boy, how much fun is that? So when somebody's looking over your shoulder, say, "Then I found $20." That's funny. That's funny. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. When someone says they're having a bond moment, that's funny. Sometimes when you lose track of time, hi, John. Sometimes when you lose track of a thought, Sharia says she's been, somebody will say they're having a blonde moment, and she says blonde moment starts with D, and Jane says ding, or just dipsy. What I say is that, yeah, Eric, this may be blonde, but I've got dark roots. Gray and brown. But you got to be willing to laugh at yourself. The more you laugh at your failures, the lighter, the easier it is. You know what I learned? One of the things I learned is that this is when I was getting a degree in education, master's, is there's something that, let's see, I don't have a, I do. All right, okay, you need to see this here. Okay, so the brain, our brain is like a rubber band, all right, like a rubber band. Okay, the more stressed we are, the tighter it is, and the less ability we are to learn, the less likely we are to learn anything. So the less stress we have, the looser the rubber band is. Our brain is a rubber band, and the more likely we are to adapt to situation. So what the minute you're stressed out, you're frustrated, you're that I'm not getting this. I have no idea what the teacher's saying. The minute you get frustrated, the less likely you are to learn from that. So, what helps is your ability to laugh, just to laugh, and to be self-deprecating, to realize, you know what, it is so wonderful for us not to take ourselves so seriously. So seriously. One of the things that you remember being in school when you were a young student, the, the the worst thing in the world was people laughing at you. If people laughed at you, it shook your inner being. But the best way to combat people laughing at you is to turn around and jump on their side, laugh too. So yeah, that was funny. That was a hot mess. I see what they're seeing, right? Instead of being tense and inflexible, see their sides. Yeah, all right, yep, that's true. I'm a hot mess. Hi, Andrea. But I'll tell you what, again, uh, when your brain is inflexible, when you're frustrated, the minute in pedagogy, the minute you are stressed, you're frustrated, is the minute you're incapable of learning. I'll tell you what, we're talking about that attention deficit, losing a thought. uh, you're trying to talk to somebody and you can't focus on what you're saying. So many people say, "Oh, you wait till you get older." Don't you want to box people's ears when they say, "You just wait till you get older"? You think you lapse in memory now? Wait till you get older. Wait, and it's like, yeah, you have absolutely no idea how it is to have multiple sclerosis. If I'll tell you what, wouldn't it be great for these people who walk around and say, yeah, you know what? You wait till you get older. Being older is much worse than having MS. And you're like, why can't these people just Google it? Why can't they Google MS and realize? Uh, you know what? It is. Sometimes I say, oh, when I want that shock value, I say when they say, what is it having MS like, or my shock values, this is a Jersey thing. When older people, when this woman that I was in the swimming pool said, you just wait and see that you get Alzheimer's along with your MS, you get dementia with your MS. You wait and see. You wait and see. I'm like, oh, it's like, I'll tell you what. At that point, I kind of look at her, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need that. I don't know. Having MS is something for some of us. It's like having Lou Gehrig's disease, but you don't die. But for others, I got to tell you, it's like not. It's a cakewalk. It's a blessing, and it makes us better. Even if it's hard on us, like I'm telling you, everybody, every single, no, that's not true. I'd say about 80%, maybe 90%. The longer you've had MS, the more likely you are to have this opinion. Everybody I know, I've met over 12 years of doing YouTube and having everybody I know with long term MS is thankful for who the disease has made them become. Uh, it's interesting. It's like Ecclesiastes chasing the wind without focusing, without having the Lord take the focus off of what uh, we think is important of this world. Money. Gina, I just saw you. Uh, uh, the minute we take that focus of going after money, going after uh, world travel, going after the richest husband or wife, the best looking, the excitement. The minute we take our mind off of uh, the bigger house, the nicer car, the more obedient pet, the minute we take our mind off of chasing these things that we are convinced will do it for us. The minute we do that, the minute we start finding the true answer of peace in life, and there was that Carrie Underwood had that song "God Bless the Broken Path That Led Me to You," and I just had getting an active, aggressive form of multiple sclerosis was it has been such a blessing because I was so self-serving. Aunt Andrea could tell you. She was just watching this a minute ago. She can tell you, I was the black sheep. I was the black sheep of the family. But it is so, oh my gosh, it is so great to love on people. Oh my gosh, thank God I have MS. Thank God, Nikki. Why did you retract your message? Don't retract your message. And all right. Let's see. Nikki said yes. Nikki's grateful. Sharia said since having MS, she appreciates every day because it could be worse. We can slow down and enjoy the beautiful flowers. You know what, Sharia, and that's just something I have to say is that it's not. I can't come from a point of view it can be worse. There's many of us um, who just have to disengage with it can be worse. There comes a point in your life where you sit there and you say, "Oh my God, could this? No, no. Yeah, this is about as worse as I can handle." Um, and a lot of that stuff. There are people watching this who have a rough time getting out of bed, and they can't. You guys can't visit. You say it can be worse. You know what? You can't ask that question. It can be worse. What you can say is that what is good in this bad situation? What is good? What is good? What is beautiful? Uh, uh, do I see a witch or an old lady, or do I see a pretty girl? Do I see a old person? So it's a choice: an old person or a pretty girl. And so much of that is you can sit there and say, yeah, it can be worse. I can be an old person. Um, you could say that it can be worse, but no, it's to me having MS for over 30 years. What it has taught me is I can't compare. It can be worse. People come up to me all the time and say I inspire them because if I can do it, I'm the worst. If I can do it, they can do it. They have no excuse how it can be worse. I can't do that. What I can say is what is the beauty in the in this situation. Think about Paul. Saul of Tarsus, Paul, he was in prison. He was sitting there in prison. And what did he write? He wrote in the Bible, he said, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. He didn't talk about climbing Mount Everest he wasn't thinking, I can be worse. It could be worse. No, he was saying that it doesn't matter where he is. He can find the joy in Christ that gives him strength, no matter where he is. Uh, you know, and Sharia, it's great. You know what? You could have gotten cancer. It's interesting, Sharia. Yeah, it's true. It can always. It's true. But I think about that. Not. I don't have children or grandchildren. I let's see. If I have melanoma. Hopefully, it's all gone. There. So I think about and not so much me, but other people don't have children, have gotten cancer, or have 3 months to live, and are just delightful. Are just see you know what, it's not so much of looking at the world is it can be worse. It's appreciating how beautiful the world is, and I'm so it just to have. I'll tell you what. People who have been able to see all their life and go blind appreciate what they had much more. people who have been able to walk around in life and all of a sudden can't walk appreciate being. I still dream that I'm an athlete. I can run and because I knew what it was like to do that. Do I miss it? No, I swim now. It's what is beautiful around us. I saw that. I saw that, Chris. I felt so. All I want you to know is that I've got this bookmark there, and I'm going to go over each one. Each one. Let's see. Oh, that's it's hard to see. Anyway, so yes, yeah, Frank's here. Yes, yes, yes. It's so just be the Lord allows us to be free in our dreams. But you know what? When we are awake and we are free, uh, it the Lord gives us our brains to see how we can be free without having to run or walk or all these things that the world says makes us free. Makes us free. You walk with a walker, you're not free. Yeah, but because I walk with a walker, I'm able to sit down on a bench and watch people walk up and down the stairs without holding on to the railing. And to me, it's like watching the Olympics, especially if they're wearing heels. They're oh my gosh, how you can't appreciate people walking up and down stairs. Healthy people can appreciate that. People who are physically challenged who can't walk well. I'm telling you what, sitting there, it's almost like a show off stuff. It's fun. It's I don't know. I get in pleasure watching people walking up and down the stairs. I don't know. It's like an Olympic feat. Well, anyway, it's the top of the hour, and I just want to say that if you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ and you want to know, if you just want to know what it's like, just say this prayer after me. Dear Lord, I have failed in life to achieve the peace that I hear you provide. I recognize that pride has blinded me from your ways. I know that I'm a sinner, and I ask for your forgiveness. I believe you died for my sins and rose from the dead. I turn from my sins and invite you to come into my heart, my life. I want to know I want to know the peace which surpasses all understanding. I want to trust in you, and I will follow you from here on out as my Lord and as my Savior. God bless you. Please subscribe. Go to my YouTube channel. Follow me. If there, let me see. Follow me. Go to msfrontiers.org. I love you all, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.